Hi, it's Kara and Dobie Joe again. Let's check our tuning before we start this next lesson, Dobie. There's my high E string. Yours should sound the same. My B is a little bit sharp. There it is. Here's my G string. Yours should sound the same. Here's my D string. Now, if you don't have the names of your strings memorized, take a little bit of time to do that. Drill yourself once a week at least. Make sure you got them down. That's not wanting to go into tune. There it is. That's my D. There's my A. And here's my E. Yeah, so memorize these string names. You need to do that. That's very important. Okay, playing in positions. Let's talk about this today. When you use your first, second, and third and fourth fingers to play the first, second, third, fourth frets, we call this first position. When you play in second position, you're shifting your fingers up. So your pointer finger is going to get all of your twos, your middle finger is going to get all your threes, your third finger is going to get all your fours, and your pinky is going to get your fives. Now, there are many times in this book and many times in real life that you're going to need to shift your four fingers up into different positions. And this is you getting your first feel of what that's going to be like, all right? It's not hard. I just need you to take a deep breath. We'll get you through it. Now, on page 37, I say, play these lines in first position, and I make a note there that says you should be pretty familiar with this by now because that's what we've been doing, right? We've been using our first finger to play all of our first fret notes, our second finger for all of our second fret notes, and our third finger for all of our third fret notes. It's shaped like a heart. Okay. All right, so let's take page 37 and let's go through this together. Okay? Nice and slow on about 84. You should always be warming up before you do these videos with me. Remember the 1, 2, 3, 4 exercise where you go 1, 2, 3, 4 up every string? Okay? Go slowly enough to where you're getting nice tone and nice notes out of each one of those movements. And then start your picking with me. All right. 37, page 37, line 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, open. Line 2. Line 3. Is that you burping? Line 4. Was page 37. All right, now that might be moving a little bit fast for you. The metronome is on 84, and I was playing every other tick on that. So if you can kind of hear the metronome tick, 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 and I'm playing every other tick. All right, page 38. We used to, my sister and I used to say that our mom didn't read to us enough, and she always plugged us into those little 45 records with the books that would go at the end of each page. You would hear the recording go dink, turn the page, and so now every time we read books, we have to say out loud, dink, turn the page. Personal joke between my sister and I. All right, maybe not so funny to you, but hilarious to my sister and I. Page 38, play these lines in second position. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to play with our first fret. It's going to be in charge of our second fret, our first finger's on our second fret. Okay, third fret, fourth fret, and our pinky's got the fifth fret. So that's the finger assignment right there. All right, got it? Okay, we're going to go real slow. We're going to do line 1, 1, and then we'll stop and talk about it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, please lick my fingers. All right, that should have felt pretty easy. All right, we were staying on that first string. Let's do it one more time. Line 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, very good. Now we're going to go to line 2, and we are going to immediately start off by playing our second fret and our fourth fret with our first finger and our third finger on the third string. Okay, you might take that very first measure of line 2 and play it really slowly a few times. Okay, 2, 4, 2, 3. One more time. 2, 4, 2, 3. Okay, let's start line 2 now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now that very well might be a little faster than you're able to play it right now. I would challenge you to do this. Play the first two measures over and over again. 2, 4, 2, 3, open, 2, 3, 5. Stop and take a breath and do it again. And again, I've got my metronome set around 82, 84. Slow your metronome down if you need to, all right? So I would practice those two measures together, and then on line 2 I would practice measure 2 and 3 back to back, which would sound like this. I would do that over and over again, and then finally I would do the last two measures of that line over and over again. Okay. Now this kind of work might seem like really boring to you, but I guarantee you that this is the kind of work that's going to make your progress on the guitar really go smoothly and actually pretty quick. If you're laying down a really good foundation as you get up into harder songs and stuff, it's going to be a lot easier for you. What most people do is they grab a guitar and they play a few chords and they get to know those sort of kind of, and then they jump into something that's really difficult and they get frustrated. Okay, if you have the patience to play through all of these pages one by one with me and take my advice and play slowly, you're going to be spending a few months laying down some really good basic skills that you need to move on, and it will eliminate the frustration. But you got to have patience with yourself, you got to have patience with me and the dog, and go slow with us, because you're going to gain a lot more by going slowly with us than you are speeding and playing sloppy. I promise you that. Okay, let's go ahead and do line 3 together now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's do line 3 one more time together. Now I will tell you that the 0, 2, 4 on that D string, you're going to find those combinations, those 3 notes, you're going to find they fall into each other a lot when you're playing. So that 0, 2, 4, practice that over and over again. Get used to that 3rd finger nailing that 4th fret on the 4th string, the 4 on the 4, 4th fret, 4th string. That's a note that is really difficult for a lot of people, and I'll tell you in advance, you need to practice it a lot. Okay, 4 on the 4. Let's give the dog another treat, and let's play line 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you've played that a couple of times with me. Remember my advice on the other lines. Practice line 1, or practice measure 1 over and over again, and then the combination of measure 1 and 2, and then 2 and 3, and 3 and 4. Practice all those combinations as slowly as you can stand to practice them, okay? Promise? Please? So much easier on yourself if you do the work. All right, line 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, the last measure of line 4, 2, 4, 2, 4. Did you notice how once I played my first 2, 4, 2, 4, I didn't move my fingers again. 2, I didn't go like this. 4, 2, 4. I just put them down and left them. That's a really good way to practice, but I'm going to tell you something right now. You're going to have a tendency to put a finger, like the back side of this 3rd finger on that 4th fret is going to accidentally touch that 3rd string. This is where you've got to really be up on those fingertips. Okay? You want to get really nice clear notes, and in order to leave them down instead of having to do this, you got to be up on the fingertips so they'll both ring out for you. Okay? That is a common mistake that everybody, I guarantee you, everybody, anybody, all the people I've ever taught have trouble with something like that, because it usually sounds like that, okay? You've got to really be up on those fingertips, and that's not going to come right away. You've got to practice it. You've got to mindfully think, up on my fingertips. You might even take a colored pencil or a colored pen and write above that measure, up on your fingertips, to remind you. Okay, let's do line 5 together. 1, there's the cat. The cat's coming to get you, Dobie Joe. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was line 5, actually. So where did that go, Dobie? I don't know where your treat went, but I guarantee the cat's not going to get it. I promise. We're not going to let the cat get it. I'll give you another one of these. All right, line 5 one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. She's going to find it. line 5. Let's get line 6 down. Dobie Joe, you want to come back up? Come on back up, come on. There you go, good girl. All right. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Line 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those last 2 notes are a little tricky to hit because you're hitting your B string and then you're reaching back for your D string. That's going to require a lot of practice too. Okay. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm kind of, I've always kind of thought that of myself as being a little obsessive compulsive, right? I mean, I'm not, but I find it relaxing to get into the details of a piece and practice those little sections over and over again. And I guarantee you that any really, really good musician has practiced like that when they've either first started playing their instrument or even now. I still practice that way. I've mentioned it before, I'll mention it again. Forgive me if I mention it too much. But it's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. I won the National Mountain Dulcimer Championship in 22. I did that by taking every single note that I played and obsessing on every single note. I often talk to my students and I say, every note on a page of music that you're looking at, imagine them as they're all people, right? And they get one chance to be heard. And they're going to be very patient and they're going to wait for all the other people on that page to be heard and say, hey, here I am, this is what I do. And when they finally get their shot at being heard, you want to give them their shot. You don't want to just gloss over that note and miss it, right? So you've got to play slowly enough to where you treat these notes like they're little people and they just want to be heard, okay? All right, I think that's all we get out of the dog. And that's probably all we're going to talk about for today. That's a good stopping point. The next time we talk to each other, we are going to go over page 39, boil that cabbage down, and then I give you an exercise in A. The bottom of that page. So we'll be doing that together. Please be patient with yourself and please practice slowly. Try to shut everything else out. Meowing cats, dogs jumping up and down off of chairs, that kind of stuff. Practice like focusing only on your guitar and shutting the rest of the world out for a little while during your practice session. Sometimes that's really hard to do, gang. I'm not going to lie to you. All right, I will see you next time when we hit page 39. Thanks so much.